There was an incident in a secret laboratory. One of the scientists released a substance that turned people into vampires. Detective Reed arrived at the scene to interview 3 witnesses. The first scientist, Michael, said, "I stopped by the lab this morning to pick up some notes. The machines were working just fine, and I didn't see anyone. I took the papers and left." The second scientist, Lindsay, said, "I closed the lab at night. One of the PCs was faulty, but I was very tired and decided to leave it till the morning. Unfortunately, I overslept." And the third scientist, Jennifer, said, "I got up early and went to the lab to check the devices. No one seems to have entered the room. I fixed one of the computers and left." Which one of them was lying? Michael is lying. One of the computers was actually faulty, and Jennifer spent the whole morning fixing it. If Michael had walked into the lab, he would have known about it, or Jennifer would have noticed him. So he must have entered the lab after the others had already left. But why would someone release such a dangerous substance? Michael didn't want to confess, so Detective Reed decided to investigate the crime scene to find out who was behind this. Take a look at this picture. Is there anything suspicious? It looks like Michael dropped an ID card. And look, it doesn't belong to him. The name on the card is George Wilson. Let's ask him about the incident. Detective Reed went to Mr. Wilson's office to ask him about the incident.
"Oh yeah, I gave my pass to Michael," Mr. Wilson said. "But that's only because I had left something in the lab. My glasses. I didn't have time, so I asked Michael to pick them up."
Well, that's not a very clever excuse, but how can you prove the man is lying? There's an open glasses case on the table, and the glasses are inside. But Mr. Wilson, didn't you say that you left them in the lab?
"Oh, did I say my glasses? Sorry, I meant my papers. I made this mistake because I asked my secretary Shirley to look for my glasses yesterday."
Find something to prove Mr. Wilson is lying. There's a calendar on Shirley's desk. Yesterday was her day off. It's marked red. Mr. Wilson is lying. Mr. Wilson was arrested, but people have already begun to turn into vampires. Can you guess who's actually a vampire? The woman on the right. She's putting on her makeup, but do you see? She isn't reflected in the mirror. Meanwhile, those who haven't turned into vampires gather everything they might need to survive. Which of these people is more likely to stay alive? All these supplies won't protect the guy on the right from vampires. As for the girl on the left, she's stocked up on what she can to defeat the vampires. She has a higher chance of survival. Let's check out the subway. There are 2 women here. Which of them is not pregnant? The girl on the left is not pregnant. Look, her belly is of a very strange shape. That's because she has hidden her survival supplies under her clothes. Vampires decided to throw a party. Who among those present is actually an undercover human? The guy on the left is a human. He's wearing makeup and false teeth. Nikki is also trying to survive. She packed her things and decided to move to a neighboring town. But suddenly, a vampire charged at her car. He damages the vehicle and takes away some supplies. Fortunately, he doesn't manage to bite Nikki. She escapes. Nikki has to stay home. The next day, a young man knocks on her door and asks for help. Is it okay to let him in? Nope. He has the same scar on his cheek like the vampire from the day before. Nikki continues to hide at home. One day, some girl starts knocking on her back door.
Please help! A pack of vampires is chasing me!
Nikki opens the door. The girl is out of breath, but she manages to say,
They're almost here. Can I come in?
Is it safe to let her in? No, this girl is a vampire. Anyone in this situation would immediately run inside the house, but vampires can't come in without an invitation. Nikki was checking her house and suddenly noticed that there was someone in the attic. She approached the shadows. It was a father and daughter.
Please don't kick us out. Sorry, we snuck in without permission. We've been trying to hide from the vampires.
The father said, Is it safe to let them stay? Yes, firstly, they're sitting in the sun, but their skin seems to be okay. Secondly, they managed to enter the house without an invitation. That means they're humans. Nikki let them stay. Let's take a little break. Time for some quick riddles. Think fast. A vampire lived in a one-story black cottage. He had a black cat, a black fish, a black computer, a black armchair, a black desk, and a black phone. Everything was black. What color was the staircase? There was no staircase in that house because it was a one-story cottage. 3 vampires are walking fast. The first vampire says, 2 other vampires are walking behind me. The second one says,
1 vampire is walking behind me, and 1 is walking in front of me.
And the third one says, 2 vampires are walking in front of me, and 2 are walking behind me. How is that possible? These vampires are walking in circles. Humans, vampires, and werewolves gathered in one mansion. There are as many werewolves as there are vampires. There are as many vampires as there are humans. How many creatures are there if 3 of them are werewolves? There are 9 creatures in the mansion, 3 werewolves, 3 vampires, and 3 humans. Now let's go back to Nikki and her adventures. Nikki, Peter, and his daughter Becky decided to go to another town together. It takes 2 days to get there. They drove all day until night fell. Now they have 3 options. First, they can continue driving until the morning, despite the fact that they may meet a lot of vampires along the way. Second, they can spend the night in the nearest cave with bats. And third, they can sleep in the car. Which option would be the safest for them? Sleeping in the car is a bad idea. Vampires can sneak up on them in the middle of the night. A night in a cave is also a bad option. Vampires can hide among these bats. The safest option is to keep driving. Although they'll probably meet vampires, they have a chance to survive if they drive faster. They drove really fast and managed to reach the city by the morning. But when they got out of the car, they discovered they were surrounded by vampires. To escape, they need to choose one of 3 roads. On the first road, there's a pack of vampires. They're coming straight at the guys. There are wild hogs on the second road. The third road leads through a dark alley with hundreds of bats. Which of these 3 ways is the safest? The second way is the best option because the sun illuminates it, so vampires can't follow Nikki and her new friends. Plus, these dogs don't look too unfriendly. The guys reached 3 stores. Now they need to decide which of the stores is safe to enter. Nikki, Peter, and Becky look through the windows to see what's inside. The first store is empty, but it seems to be full of traps. The second store is full of survivors, but they look dangerous. And the third store seems empty as well, but it's completely dark there, and you can't see anything except for dozens of bats. Where should Nikki lead her friends? The first store is the safest. If Nikki, Peter, and Becky notice these traps, then the chances are high they'll be able to avoid them. It's worth a try. There's a man in the city who's trying to survive by hiding among vampires. Nikki spent a week photographing vampires to figure out who he was. Will you be able to see who is actually human in these photos? You can see this man has all 4 photos. In one of the photos, he's eating garlic bread, and in this one, his leg is exposed to the sun. He's only pretending to be a vampire. Nikki and the others decided to invite this man to join their group. The man was delighted and said that his name was Douglas. He was a journalist looking for safe places for people. He suggested creating a password that only humans could figure out. They came up with this one: HAWUH. Can you guess why? If you look at the reflection of this word in the mirror, you will see Huwan, or H-U-W-A-N. Flip the letter W and you get the word human. But only those who get reflected in the mirror will be able to solve this puzzle. Nikki and her friends settle down in this town. Can you guess which of these houses belongs to Nikki, in which Peter and Becky live, and in which Douglas has chosen? House number 1 belongs to Peter and Becky. There are 2 bicycles next to it. House number 2 belongs to the journalist. Do you see his equipment? And the remaining house, house number 3, belongs to Nikki.
The woods are hiding many secrets. You have 5 seconds to find a frog here. That was easy. Here it is. A lion is running free and wild somewhere here. Can you spot it? Yay! I knew it was there. Most people can't find an eagle in this image. Let's see if you're one of them. You shouldn't have looked for it in the sky. It's right here on the rocks. Things are getting complicated. There must be a crab here, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is, hiding in the sand. Chameleons are pros at adjusting to their surroundings, so this one will be tricky. Good job, you got it. Here's a new task for you. There are animals hiding behind all those symbols. Can you name them all? I can hear this lion roar. How about this one? Yep, it's a rabbit. Moving on to the next level. What a cute hippo! This one looks vaguely familiar. Ah, it's a gorilla. How about this one? I knew it, it's a squirrel. Time for the king of them all. Hope you can figure it out. It's a panda. The secret here is to zoom the image out or shake your head, then things become more obvious. Ready to play detective again? A rich gentleman is looking for his lost horse. Can you help him out? Wow, I wonder how it got there. There's a rare kind of butterfly in the botanical garden. Will you be the first to find it? Yay! Now you can tell everyone you've seen a natural miracle. A little bird fell out of the nest. Please help find it as fast as you can. Good job, you just saved the bird. A panda decided to pretend it's a penguin. It's doing fine, but let's see if you can do even better and find it. There it is! You must have a really sharp eye. Watch out, there's a snake hiding somewhere around. It feels better when you can keep an eye on it, doesn't it? A family of bears is looking for its son. It ran in this direction. Do you see it anywhere? I'd ask how it got there, but I don't speak bear. Let's see how many animals you can recognize by their shadows. Here's the first one. That's right, it's a hippo. What about this one? I think you knew it was a panda, didn't you? The next one is a bit tricky. It's a gorilla, I knew it. I think I've seen this guy somewhere. You can't confuse their laughter for someone else's. It's a hyena. Here's one more shadow for you. Yep, it's the king of the jungle himself. Moving on, your new task is to recognize an animal by a zoomed-in picture on it. This cute little ear definitely belongs to a… fox. Got it! This eye is staring deep into your soul. Can you recognize its owner? It's a frog. I want to pet this nose, but I hope it's not some dangerous animal. Yay! It's a seal. This one looks fluffy. Can you guess what it is? It's a little sheep. That's an interesting pattern. I think I know the owner. It's a butterfly. Did you guess that? I'm getting hungry. I think I'll have one of those bananas. Ouch! They say there's a snake in the box. Do you see it? Thanks for finding it. Now I can enjoy my snack. A panda got into a raccoon camp to find out all of their secrets. Help the raccoons keep them. Yep, the panda is right there. Someone said there's a wolf that got too close to unknowing sheep. Only you can save them. Thank you on behalf of all the sheep in the world. Uh-oh, that wolf must have relocated to the monkeys. It doesn't belong here either. Got it. Hope it won't misbehave again. A super smart parrot escaped from its house to see the world. It might need some help though. There it is! Some animals have unexpected little secrets. Looks like the lynx family has gone shopping and came back with an electric iron. Can you locate it and take it back to the store? Sorry guys, you don't have any clothes to iron anyway. The tiger decided it needs some pillows to make sleeping more comfortable. But you need them more, so claim them back. Yay! Now you can sleep safe and sound again. The monkeys wanted to work out but never figured out how to use the weights. Bring them back to the gym. Here they are. This cat definitely doesn't need a spinner, but you could use it to relieve some tension. Find it in 5 seconds. Fantastic! I knew it would be in the grass. The next images aren't as plain as they might seem. Your task is to find all the hidden meanings. I can clearly see a camel here, and that's it. Let's see if you've got a sharper eye. When you look closely at it and change the angle, you can also find a wise man in this camel picture. How about this one? Is it just a bear to you? Looks like it's hiding the same secret as the previous page. It's the portrait of a man. What a cute penguin! I wonder if it has a second personality. Flip it upside down, and it turns into a giraffe. Same logic here, but this time, try not to flip it over and guess the second hidden animal anyway. This swan doubles as an elephant. Proves you can be anything you want to be. What about this lamb? Again, look closer, and I'm sure you can find some features of a different animal in it. It's a cute little seal right out of the water. What you see first in the images can tell a lot about your personality. Don't overthink it, just go with your first impression. If it's two seahorses to you, you're a fun and playful person who can always make others smile. You're an optimist and always see the good in every situation. It helps you overcome any difficulties easily. If it's a butterfly to you, you're an artistic soul. You prefer observing things to jumping into action. You get inspired listening to others and their stories and feel the best among nature. You need to express yourself through art to speak up. What do you see in this image? If you saw two monkeys first, you have a really agreeable personality. You try to avoid conflict by all means, and you'd rather agree with the other side than prove you're right no matter what. If you saw a goat in this image, you're a really stubborn person. When you feel you're the right one, no one can convince you otherwise. You like to give people advice and tell them they should have listened to you afterward. Try getting a bit softer for a change, and you might like it. How about this one? If it looks like an owl to you, the stage is your natural habitat. You probably sing, dance, act, or just tell funny stories everyone enjoys. When you're in a big group of people, you get bored and upset if you can't have everyone's attention. If you clearly see two pigs here, you prefer to stay out of the spotlight. You're creative too, but in your own quiet way. You don't like to share too much personal information with others. You always gladly help people who want to be in the spotlight, but do it backstage. What does this image look like to you? If it's clearly two elephants, you're loving and caring and always putting others first. When you feel like your close friend or family member is sad, You'll never calm down until you can make them feel better. You're a great listener and respect the secrets of others. If it's a snake to you, you're wise beyond your years. You don't let people close to you until you've known them for a while. You'll always listen and support them, but will rarely share something personal with anyone. You also give good advice. Here's another one for you. Those who saw a llama here first, you're always having second thoughts about taking some important action. You live through many possible scenarios in your head and regret many things in life. Hey, try taking it easier. Those who saw two squirrels first, you're moving through life fast and seize the moment. You never overthink anything, and you know failures make the best and funniest stories sometimes.
Keep track of your points and check your results at the end of the test. First things first, pick a plate for your future sandwich. A disposable plate, I guess. I don't have fine china or something. B, just a regular plate I'll grab off the shelf without looking. C, my favorite plate with some cute animals on it. D, a plate I made myself at a pottery workshop. E, a plastic container. I'm making a sandwich to go. If you picked option A, it's worth 20 points. Option B brings you 40 points. C is worth 30 points. D is worth 50 points. E brings you 10 points. Choose the bread of your masterpiece. A, whole wheat or multigrain. I want to make it as healthy as possible. B, sourdough. I love its taste and those large air bubbles. C, pita bread. Yummy and easy to hold. D, dark rye bread. The only kind I accept. E, ciabatta. Love that Italian feel. Did you go with option A? Here are your 10 points. B brings you 40 points. C is worth 20. D gives you 30 points. And E is worth 50 points. Next step, the meat. Is it gonna be A, turkey, B, ham, C, chicken, D, a mix of them all topped with bacon? Just one kind is too boring. E, no meat for me, thank you. If you picked turkey, add 30 points to your score. If you went with ham, get your 20 points. Chicken brings you 10 points. A mix of everything gives you 50 points. If you don't want any meat, get your 40 points. What's going there next? A, a slice of cheese. I love it so much I add it everywhere. B, lettuce, kale, spinach, arugula, leafy greens make everything better. C, some tomatoes and cucumbers. D, another layer of meat, and one more on top of it. E, strawberries. I like original combinations. Option A adds 20 points to your basket. Option B brings you 40 points. C is worth 10 points. D is worth 30 points. E brings you 50 points. Time to add some sauce. Will you go with A, barbecue sauce? The spicier the better. B, Caesar dressing. I add it everywhere. C, some good old mayo. It works with every meal. D, balsamic vinaigrette. Fancy and healthy. E, cranberry jam. In fact, any jam will do. Barbecue sauce fans get 40 points. If you'd rather go with Caesar dressing, get your 20 points. Mayo brings you 10 points. Balsamic vinaigrette will get you 30 points. Cranberry jam brings you 50 points. It still feels incomplete. How about some extras? A, chili peppers. I like it spicy. B, pickles, crispy and crunchy. C, grilled cheese. The more, the better. D, some red onions. E, I think I'm good. This sandwich is looking good enough. Chili peppers brings you 30 points. Pickles gets you 10 points. Grilled cheese is worth 40 points. Red onions gives you 20 points. No extras option gives you 50 points. Looks good. How will you eat it? A, down the middle. B, diagonally. C, I turn it into some little triangles. D, I don't cut it at all. It's already perfect. E, I make some funky shapes out of it with a cookie cutter. Did you go with option A? Add 40 points to your basket. Option B brings you 10 points. Option C is worth 30 points. D brings you 20 points, and E is worth 50 points. Wait, do you think it'll be enough? Add something on the side. A. French fries. I can't live a day without them. B. My signature mix of pickled bell peppers, jalapenos, carrots, cauliflower, and onions. C. Some ice cream. Try it yourself before you say yuck. D. Some fresh and ripe avocados. E. Nothing. I'm not that hungry. French fry fans get 20 points. Those who picked a mix of everything gets 40 points. Ice cream brings you 50 points. Avocados are worth 30 points. If you don't want to add anything, get 10 points. How about a drink to go with your sandwich? A. Sure, I'll have some soda. B. A glass of water will do. C. I prefer some freshly squeezed orange juice. D. Coffee. I can never get enough of it. E. I think I'll pass, thanks. If you picked option A, add 10 points to your basket. Option B brings you 50 points. Option C is worth 40 points. D gives you 20 points. And E is worth 30 points. You're all set. Where do you eat your sandwich? A. The kitchen. I don't like breadcrumbs all over the house. B. The porch or balcony. I prefer to eat outside, even in bad weather. C. A nearby park. I'll go for a walk and eat it on the way. D. The living room in front of the TV set. E. My desk while I'm working. I never have time to eat properly. If you prefer to eat in the kitchen, 20 points are coming your way. If you picked the porch or balcony, you get 30 points. Those who chose a nearby park get 50 points. The living room gives you 10 points, and your desk adds 40 points to your score. Your housemate walks in and asks to share your delicious snack. What do you do? A. I share it with him, of course. He always shares with me. B. He doesn't even have to ask. I made 2 sandwiches for us to eat together. C. No, I don't share food. D. I'll share, but he'll have to do the dishes for a week. E. He can make his own and join me for that walk I'm taking. Option A gives you 50 points. B is worth 30 points. C is worth 10 points. D brings you 40 points. E is worth 20 points. Imagine you agreed to share a sandwich with your housemate. What do you talk about while you're eating? A. My new relationship. I never make a secret out of personal stuff. B. Work or school. We aren't that close, really. C. Our plans for the weekend. We spend a lot of time together. D. Sports or music. I enjoy our heated discussions. E. Weather. We're just housemates, not besties or something. Those who went with option A get 50 points. If you chose B, you get 30 points. Option C brings you 40 points. D gives you 20 points. And E is worth 10 points. Time to sum up your points and find out your biggest fear. If you got 100 to 210 points, you're afraid of the dark. The darkness itself isn't scary. It's the unknown that freaks you out. You're most likely also afraid of the future and any unpredictable situations. You don't like surprises and prefer to follow a plan in everything. You have a super rich and vivid imagination. Your brain always plays many scenarios, most of which never come true, but make you shiver anyway. In case your final score is 220 to 300 points, clowns are your biggest fear. That's because their bright makeup and smiles are hiding their real intentions. You can't stand lies and absurd things. You're always sincere and honest to yourself and others and expect the same from them. You take things the way they are and are realistic about your future. You're always careful meeting new people. It can take years before you can call someone your friend. Did you end up with 310 to 400 points? Heights and flying make you scared. You feel like you have a split personality. It's not easy for you to make any decisions or pick sides in an argument. You feel uncomfortable in an unusual setting, like a plane seat. You don't like it when others are in charge of the situation, especially when your life depends on it. You're cautious and try to avoid taking risks. Those who ended up with 410 to 500 points, snakes are your biggest fear. The real fear behind it is that your loved ones will get in danger. You're deeply attached to your family and close friends. You'd give up anything for them. You're caring, selfless, and super reliable. Someone probably took advantage of that in the past, so you've learned your lesson and are more careful now. If your final score is 510 to 600 points, you're afraid of loneliness. You're sociable and easygoing. You're always the first to approach new people, and you enjoy being the soul of any party. The idea of being alone, even for a short time, terrifies you. One possible reason for that is your lack of self-confidence. You probably need the approval of others for your own well-being. Focus on yourself. You matter as well.